All right, hello and welcome to the Wolfpack Disc YouTube channel. I am Papa Wolf, and I'm excited to talk about the year of disc golf in the great disc state here in Michigan. And with me is Rob Dahmen or Damon, depending on who you ask, right, Rob?
That's it.
Excellent.
Depending
And
on where you're
Rob,
from.
yeah, exactly. And Rob, you're from Small City Disc, and that is on the east side of the state. For those of you that don't know, right?
Yep. Small little club, east side of Michigan,
You run a couple
southeast
events
side
a
Metro
year,
Detroit.
right?
Yeah, we run a couple of unique events in a league.
That's perfect, and
Everything
it's
on nothing sanctioned.
hey, we need to keep people involved in the sport in any way, shape, or form. So you may come up with the fun and exciting ones, and other people might run the serious ones. You know what I mean?
That's it.
All right. So I'm a stats nerd. I love sports. I love stats. I like anything I can do. I love the PDGA rating system because I just like to have a stat of myself. I think that that's pretty cool. But you go above and beyond here at Small City, and you track stuff throughout the entire year in the Great Disc State. Tell us about the data that you posted recently, linked below in the comments and the description, by the way.
Yeah, I also love data and I love stats and I just love Excel. And a few years ago, back in 2021, there was the discussion about the player of the year within the PDGA. And the discussion with how it went for 2020 and the changing of the criteria that happened. And there was a whole big snafu about between Katrina Allen and Paige Pierce, who was actually the player of the year. And the PDGA changed all their standards. And they weren't going to include cash and rating and average cash and finishes and all that kind of stuff. They were just going to go straight how you finished at events and certain tiered events. And I thought, you know what? That's pretty simple. Why not Michigan? Michigan's one of the top states for events in the country or the world, and we're one of the top areas for the number of players concentrate in that space. I'm like, you know what, we could do something like that. So I thought I could figure that all out, and I really wanted to focus on just Michigan. So Michigan events and Michigan players get a player of the year for Michigan. I didn't want somebody from Ohio to be able to come in and be eligible and win this. I didn't want some touring pro going out and playing majors and elite events all across the country to also be able to win this. I wanted events in Michigan by Michigan players. So the PDGA includes majors, A tiers, and elites. And I wanted to, well, we don't have that volume here. So I also extended it to B tiers. So majors, we have elite events, we have A tiers, and we have B tiers. So I would do all that, put it all together. I didn't want to do C tiers. That would just add way too many things for me to try to follow. And I do it all manually. And that's just too crazy.
So
And then,
let me interrupt real quick. So
yeah,
for maybe the non nerd like me, you are collecting data from players that are only from Michigan
yes,
while playing in Michigan
yes,
and playing in BA and majors and tour events, I guess.
yes.
All right. So
So
what are yeah, go ahead.
I collect just for the MPOs, FPOs, MA1s, and the high female events, high female tiers. I don't do it for every division, for every possible combination. That's also just way too much.
Yeah, and
But
besides, no one needs to see the 68th ranked player in MA 40 because that's probably me, and Richard would be the 69th ranked player in MA 40. No one cares about those things.
sure.
Right. All right. So
So
we
yeah.
got our four major divisions. It's across the state here. And I guess let's roll into MPO. Talk to us about your top 10 here and who you see.
So this year the winning person was yet again Luke Taylor out of Shepherd. He's now the three-time now defending champion for MPO. He's come, I think before that he'd come in fourth, so he's doing pretty well. He won kind of coming down to the last events. It was his tight race the entire time. It actually came down to the state championship, so that was pretty impressive. That him and then Austin and then Nicholas Gill were the kind of running away with it, and it all kind of came down with how they finished at the last events. I like being able to post this kind of midway through the year and then towards the end of the year so the players know where they are. This isn't this is just for pride. There's nothing really behind it, but just kind of
Yep.
a competition between some players. And I know some of the top players play against each other and they can use it as bragging rights against each other.
For sure, on any given weekend, you can go play B tier and MPO in the Great Disk State, shoot 1040 and lose. So you never know what's going to happen out here. Got to give a shout out to a couple of people holding it on for the under 50,000 PDGA numbers: Nick Gill, Sam Smeagol, and Kyle Williams, aka the King of the North. It's been great to see those guys playing for 15 years or so, all the way from the lower levels like me, and then all the way up to MPO. And Nick earning his tour card for 2025 is huge, and that's awesome. And speaking of the tour, Andrew Marwade, not bad for a guy that lives in Michigan for like 3 months of the year, huh? Making the top 10 list still.
Yes, that's impressive. He was the winner the first 2 years that I ran this. But him going more on tour, going away, and other people playing more locally, he's kind of been pushed down.
For sure. If we look at some of those names, especially Luke and Austin and Nick, we think we're going to see those names represented on tour even more next year. And then obviously we have Andrew Marweed on tour, and, Kyle Klein. I think Michigan's going to claim you, even though I did see he updated his address in the PDGA. He is no longer listed as a Michigan player. Did you know that?
I did not know that. So all of my information is taken during the event. I don't go back and then check if you were a player at the end of the year anymore. It's only what you were stated at that time.
Well, that's important knowledge for us to gain with those data points. And appreciate that. We're going to scroll on to FPO here. We think we're doing the fancy screen sharing. This should be interesting. I
Hey,
hope it works out. And if not, Rob, it's been great for people to look at you and me here for 20 minutes, right?
sure.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
again in FPO we had another three-time winner. Lindsay Moss came in and she ran away with it. It has a bit to do with, you can see that she played 15 eligible events compared to nobody else even getting over seven. But not only that, she kept winning at events and she had a dominating fashion. So this is her third time winning it, 3 times in a row, even. So congratulations to her.
Yeah, and as a person that's hung out in the Michigan disc golf scene for a minute, we kind of see peaks and valleys with FPO participation, and we had a kind of a bigger field, and a lot of those have kind of either moved on from the sport or moved to a different division, and we're waiting for that next batch of FA ones to really come in and get full divisions again at some of these events, getting that 10, 15 FPO players. That would be great to see again. And of course, special shout out Nikki Taylor, who is much like me, just wants to play where her friends are, and whatever division your homies are in. That's one you should sign up for. That's one I'm a firm believer in, as long as you qualify for that division, of course.
Mhm.
Yes. So this is the one that is very exciting for me. We're gonna move over to MA1. Wide variety of players, and also like some of these players are those borderline uh young MPO or borderline MPO players too. So what do you see from this type of stuff?
So you can see that you had like 3 runaway players to kind of lead the pack. And it's just amazing to me that Gavin was able to get so close with only playing 5 events. So when he did get out there, he just killed it. And but some things that you see from Luke from Grand Rapids, his PDGA numbers soaring up there compared to some of the other players. As I believe he's played as low as MJ 15 this year as well. So he is a no, you don't think so? Am
Luke
I
Luke
wrong?
Conway? Luke Conway is a freshman or sophomore at Michigan State. So I don't
So
think,
maybe it's NJ 17.
yeah, maybe.
How
Maybe he
young of a
could.
guy is he?
I don't know, but he's been ripping up the scene, and he throws so far. So he's very good. And you know what? Also, like super nice guy, like super chill, like good dude. Like to see that. Speaking
Oh,
of good dudes,
it was Gavin who's the MJ 15. There we go. That's
correct.
why.
Yep,
That's who I had mixed up.
Gavin played a couple junior events, if you will. It's interesting to see Zach Knipe. He played a good amount of events this year, and his rating kept increasing all year. And Gavin Cunningham, he played a good amount of events, but switched to MPO after US ADGC, I believe. So
Okay.
it's crazy to see that he's still, I don't think played an AM event after maybe June. And he still is on this list. That's crazy. And then like number 10, Andy Zink, just a great guy to get on your card. Like out and about, plays a lot of events, a couple different divisions, plays a lot of leagues. So this is a pretty fun group to see in MA1, and I can't wait to see some of these names roll over into MPO in the upcoming years. I assume we'll
Oh
see
yeah.
Luke there. Matt kind of jumps back and forth between MPO and MPO and MA1. So good amount of people on that list. Anything else you want to add in about MA1?
What I do like to see is that there's a spread of these names and where they're from all over the state. So we're seeing a good collection of good people moving up from all over. You're not just getting a single hotbed that shows that Michigan itself is the entire state is a hotbed.
Yep, it takes good people running great events all over and good leagues and good communities to support all these things. So as we roll over into female amateur, I noticed it doesn't say FA1. You want to talk about how we got to these data points or?
Yeah, so sometimes events are run and there's not an FA1 division. Sometimes just do based on the TD or sometimes based on the players. The players want to play FA2, FA3, or FA4. So I went through and I took whatever the highest FA division is at an event and still made them eligible for this. And sometimes we have events that are split 2-day events, and they might run FA1 on one event on one day and FA2 on another day. I'll only take the FA1 for that event,
Okay.
and that's why that's a little split up because I wasn't getting enough data points for just one set. But with this one, you can see that Kylie kind of did her thing
Yeah.
and jumped up there. And as far as I understand, Kylie also played out of the state quite a few times as
Yep.
well. She did quite well out of the state as well. And even then coming back, she did quite well. And I believe Peyton is her sister. So
Correct.
them going 1-2,
Yeah.
that's impressive alone.
It's a bright future for competitive disc golf for both of them if they choose to do it. They're both very young still, so you never know. Distractions, college or things like that. You never know what people do with their life, and they seem to really be happy when they play. So I wish them continued success when they play. Got to meet Kelsey Martin. She played a couple of my events this year. She plays a lot, I believe, in the Detroit area. Correct me if I'm wrong, but very cool person. And then Macy Zink, I mean, she makes me laugh. She's just a rock star. And then special shout out to TJ. That one event, Rob, without looking, do you know what that one event it was?
Without looking, I don't know.
I believe it was Am States. I believe she won FA1.
Well,
So
there you go. An even 100.
yeah, that's a pretty sweet move if you ask me. Why not make the top
I,
10 list?
I do
Right.
move the states up to major status when it comes to a point scale. I give those an extra bump instead of just being a regular A tier within our system.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at state championships across the board from other states, there isn't ones quite like us when it comes to the AMs. And I know I've had the pleasure of helping out with the pros for the last couple of years, and that's growing and building as well. So, yeah, shout out to everyone that helps at those great events. Good job, MGO. Love that.
They're a lot of fun to follow everyone getting eligible for those across the year, which is where a lot of these points then become eligible for the player of the year that Small City puts out.
Well, hopefully next year you can expand the divisions at least to MA 40, or just to see where I would come in last place or second to last with old Uncle Richard there. What other things are we looking for? Do you see any trends? Do you see anything you're going to change up for next year? You want to come back and talk in June to a halfway point? What are you thinking for next year, Rob?
Yeah, we can discuss coming back in June and give them a midway point, let players know where they're at coming through so far. I've come through. This is now the fourth year that I've done this. I've kind of refined it up a bit that I kind of like where it's at. I like seeing the number of events. It seems that the number of events keep coming through. They have to be a little bit more each year. I think I did almost 100 events this year that I had to review. Um, so it's a lot of fun just to see the disperse the dispersed pattern of where everything goes and how everybody does. And you can see people that are maybe younger and in school, and then come summer, they just shoot up on playing. So it's kind of fun to see that process.
Yeah, I or maybe they're TDs and they only play in the early spring and late fall and get terrible ratings because they're running events the rest of the time. Maybe that's it too.
Maybe, yes.
Yeah, could be. Well, Rob, we've got a giveaway, and before we turn the record button on, we figured out it's the winner. We're not going to give a disc away. We're going to give a clothing item away. So here's how you
It's
enter
getting
to
cold
win.
out.
It is. Here's how you enter to win. Uh, in a couple of weeks, we'll say, after Christmas, before New Year's. I'm gonna circle back to this. And if in the comment section below you comment uh, a shirt size, maybe, or like I would like a hat or something like that, we're gonna randomly pick someone and play a game called I hope we have something in inventory that's gonna match. And if not, you will get the first run of whatever we do come of February when we knock some new apparel out. We've got a good amount of hidden gems here, but just want to make sure I got the right size for you. So all you gotta do is comment a size of a clothing item that maybe you would wear or your friend would wear or something. And then or maybe I would like a hat. Big hint, if you do wear a size large polo, or maybe like an extra large or large that fits like an extra large, and you happen to want an orange polo, if you happen to comment
Oh,
orange polo, I have many, many of those, but only in size large that fits like XL. So
okay.
there's that. You
That should
might
be
have a
exciting.
better chance of winning randomly. Again, I'll select one or two, or Richard will select one or two, and we'll figure that out. Rob, can't thank you enough for coming on. You'll be one of our first videos here of the fourth quarter, and appreciate that as we end 2024 and look forward to doing more things in 2025. Thanks, Rob.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate all you do and have a good, safe holidays. And look forward to seeing you out there, TDing or playing.
Yeah. I can come in last with the best of them. Thanks again,
All
everybody, and
right.
remember to hit like and subscribe, and maybe even tell somebody that you saw us on the old YouTube. All right, bye.